and welcome to another episode of the TicTalks podcast. I am your host, Dan Webb, aka WebSlinger25, and my guest of honor today is the lovely unfiltered.treasure, Nicole Coyne. How you doing tonight, sweetheart?
I am good.
Yeah?
Got my beer. I'm all ready. Let's do it.
Oh, awesome, awesome. How are you doing?
I'm good. I worked all day, made dinner. We had delicious fucking tacos.
Oh, nice,
Fuck.
nice. Did you do anything fun after that?
Played zombies. Fucking
What? Who'd
killed
you
it in
play
that.
zombies with?
I think you.
All right. So if you don't know, I did have a guest earlier for the podcast who I did have to cancel very short notice. Uh, and I did have a couple of offers to have other people jump in, but I really thought it'd be a good time to have Nicole jump in and do a dual live. I mean, normally we do lives together all the time, and it's
Right.
not really like this forum. Um, Again, we see all your comments. We appreciate all your comments. We're not necessarily, I mean, we're reading them, but we're not necessarily going to acknowledge them. Just again, this is a live that is in podcast form. So um, just go ahead and say that. So, sweetheart, love of my life, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me, boo.
All right. So, first off, you know, I would like to know, where did you start TikTok? How did you start to get on TikTok?
So I got on TikTok from my friend Heather. She used to send them to me all the time, and I'm like, dude, I don't get TikTok. Like I knew it'd been around for a while because I didn't really get into TikTok until like November, December. And then once I actually started watching the ones she was sending me, I was like, oh, fuck this. I need to be on here. So then I was watching them and then I was like, nope, I'm gonna make them too. So, and it's just, you can't go back.
Right. Yeah, you make a few, and then the next thing you know, you're making TikToks all day long, and I'm watching them
Legit.
happen. So,
Yes. Yes.
yeah, well, and then TikTok is how I was able to get your attention. So we were talking for a while on Facebook Messenger or whatnot,
Hmm.
and we started talking like back in like October ish, and then she was talking to somebody else at the time that she was honest and told me, obviously, and it was cool. And he kind of pulled the trigger before I did, but ended up being kind of a psycho. And I waited a little bit, and then I was like, you know what, I am still interested in you. And we were talking and just continued talking, and I'm like, all right, last time I fucked up and didn't, make sure she knew I was seriously interested. So I made a TikTok just to follow you. And
Yeah.
I messaged you and said, hey, I made a TikTok and I'm following you now. And then, yeah, we started commenting on videos and stuff. And, that helped us get a little more close to each other, and kind of like really bridge the gap that we needed.
Yeah. No, I agree. I don't think it was necessarily like TikTok itself, but it was like, oh shit, I guess he is interested enough to like see that I liked it because I would post my TikToks on Facebook and I'm like, follow me, blah blah blah. So then you're like, oh, I made one to follow you. I was like, oh shit. Okay. Like, oh yeah.
Yep,
So it was on from there.
it was. And then you started showing me other people because, like, back then, like, if it wasn't your video, I didn't even look. Like, I didn't even care. And you're like, oh no, you got to check out all these people. Kept showing me people. And Tanner, I don't even know what his TikTok name is. Some dude named Tanner, this
Tanner
bigger
Field or
dude.
something.
Yeah, this bigger dude
I
that was
love
like
Tanner.
doing really funny TikToks. And then would dance and shit. Really good dancer. For a big dude. And did the I'm working bitch ones all the time. And you just thought they were so funny. And I thought they were hilarious too. And so like yeah, that's I made the Ford Ranger. That was my very first like actual TikTok video. The other two videos were ones that I already had on my phone. And
Right, right.
the Ford Ranger one, I saw a Ford Ranger driving down the highway, and I pulled my phone out and made a fucking TikTok to it, and that started it. And then slowly but surely, then I started doing the ones kind of like Tanner, and then after that got played out, that's when I started doing the random shit and kind of blew up from there. So, and
Yeah,
then
my first TikTok, I'm pretty sure I made, I had been drinking and smoking all by myself. And I was like, fuck these bitches. I can do it better. Awful, awful, but whatever.
yeah, well, I mean, you do have very interesting content. Like you do some of the trend stuff, but then you do like stuff that's not really the trendy stuff, and that's really fun. I think to date, still my most favorite one that you've done would be the red silhouette video.
Oh my God. I did that for you. I wasn't even gonna do that. And you're like, just do it, do it. So then I did it and I just sent it to you. And you're like, you need to post that. I was like, no fucking way. No way. Like to post that online.
Yeah, you did it, and it's been up ever since. So,
Yeah, but
and
I
you've only
mean,
gotten a
it's
couple
got
of
like
creepy messages.
1,300 views. So whatever.
You've only gotten a few creepy messages from it. Nothing crazy.
Oh my God. I get creepy messages all the time. That's why I stopped looking at my messages. I don't even, so y'all, if you message me, I just don't even look anymore. I can't.
Yeah,
I
unless
don't
you're
want to know.
pinned to top. I don't really look at messages either. So
Yeah.
I try,
Yeah.
but I can't get to. I have a fuckload of them, so it's hard to keep track. So
It, it's
I've
hard to
actually
keep
had
track of which TikTok is my favorite. I think the one with me and my cousin when we're fucking wasted on Christmas Day,
to.
we're singing a fucking song. I'm singing it. I'm trashed. I had already passed out in the bathroom for like 3 hours, came back out, kept drinking. So then we're doing this TikTok, and I have my phone and I have her phone, and I'm reading the lyrics because I can't fucking remember them. I'm so gone. And then out of nowhere, she goes, coming in hot, and comes up, and she's fucking wasted. And even every time I see it now, I just about piss myself laughing because there was no reason for her to come that hard, but she did.
Oh, for sure. I remember that video. That video was funny as shit.
So funny. Oh my God. Oh, yeah. That was my cousin. So my family parties. There's been a lot of partying in my family. Some of it not good.
We've done a couple with a couple of your family members now. So,
Yeah, see, those are the good family members that have stuck around.
so
I'm very big on if you disturb my energy, you don't belong in my energy, and that's family or not. Like I don't care, family or not. I'm gonna cut you off. I don't need it. I've been through a lot of shit. I'm not gonna have you around to bring me down.
right, I get it. So, how much do you
So,
want to get into? What do you want to get into on your life that you are willing to share?
I'm pretty much an open book. I mean, there's not very many things that I don't talk about. Um, So, I mean, like my mom was a really big like negative effect on my life, and that's kind of where I've started the I don't care if you're family or not thing. So, I mean, I'm an open book. What you got?
Yeah.
Hit me.
Well, okay, let's start with your mom. Uh, I know, but I don't want to ask like necessarily get it because I do know the whole story. But that's where I'm trying to get at. Is like, where, what are you comfortable with talking about your mom?
All of it. I don't
And
care.
that you remember, this is not just on TikTok. This is going on every platform. So,
Yeah, I don't care.
okay. Um,
It's been all over the news. It's all over the town. I don't care.
okay. So, let's get into it. So, when you were very young, your mom was a severe alcoholic. Um,
Yes. I really think the turning point for her and her alcoholism was when our house burnt down. My the house I was in fifth grade when our house burnt down. We lost everything. I we lost our family dog, we like everything. And I think she really blamed herself for that. And I think that was kind of the turning point for her where it got super intense.
mhm,
Because like the younger years, I remember her drinking. She was always drinking and partying. My dad drank too. He was an alcoholic growing up. But then like the deeper my mom dove into it, my dad was like, "Oh, I one of us has to have our shit together."
right,
So she went for years. Finally, like my eighth or ninth grade year, she was diagnosed bulimic bipolar schizophrenic. And then, so she was in Pine Rest for a better part of a year, trying to get her meds straight and dealing with all that. So then when she got out, her meds were good for a while, and then she started drinking again, and she just it spiraled down. And my mom and dad got divorced. I was 15 or 16,
right,
and she left. She left. She booked it. She at one point she lived down in Georgia. I think now she lives in Mount Pleasant. I haven't seen her in how old am I now? 29. So I haven't seen my mom in 12 years.
right,
I haven't talked to her in two. The last time she, no, last time she tried to get a hold of me was 2 years ago, and that's because she was getting kicked out of her place.
right.
Um,
So
but yeah,
during that
growing up, she
time
was
after when
really,
she booked it, you lived with your dad, right?
yeah,
All right. So
yep.
you're
And I'm
basically
the
raised by
youngest
your
of
dad.
three siblings. Yeah, I'm the youngest of three siblings, so I was the only one at home. Um, my sister had already left for Traverse City. She moved out because of my mom. My brother's quite a bit older than me, so he was already gone out of the picture. Um, so yeah.
Uh,
Growing up, I remember my sixth grade year, I started the first week. I got pulled out of class by a cop because the night before, my mom, belligerent and drunk, a stupid fight over me shaving my legs, had decided she didn't want me to and ended up beating me over the head with a like it was a long brush. It had a metal handle, but it had like this big wooden head on it. And so she beat me over the head with it. My brother and sister had to step in and stop it and called the police. They took her to jail. She did 8 months for that. So the start of my sixth grade year, I got pulled out of class by a cop.
yeah.
Yay! That's a way to start new school.
Right. Yeah. Let's not have anybody talk
Yeah,
about things or anything. Yeah. Let's start the rumor mill right away
right.
at like
Oh
one of the
yeah.
most important
Oh my
years.
God. Yeah.
Because,
And then
I
like
mean, at that age, I mean, realistically, kids don't forget that shit. Like, yeah,
no, no, it's old enough you remember.
it's the girl who got her
My
pulled
favorite
out
was
by the
the
cop.
bus driver. The bus driver, because she made the newspaper.
Yeah.
I mean, we live in I mean, not a super small, but it's a small town.
That's
Got on the
small.
bus the day after it was in the newspaper. My bus driver was like, Yvonne's your mom. Yeah, she is. Oh, she's like, I used to party with her in high school, but I didn't know she still did. Only by herself. So, and then from there on, she was just in and out of jail constantly. Um, I don't think my dad really knew how bad it was
Right.
because he worked second shift for a long time and then he worked third shift. So he wasn't around for a lot of it. I think if he truly knew how bad it was, I don't think he would have stayed as long as he did.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
Um,
I've met your dad. Your
and I
dad's
mean, I
full
don't
of
blame my
shit.
dad.
So, and I definitely don't think he would have, especially because, I mean, with the way he is with your kids, he is so sweet to your kids. And he's very, I mean, same thing to mine, but he is so sweet. I don't
Mhm.
think, uh, I don't think if he knew at all exactly what was going on, he would have been there.
Yeah, no, I don't think he knew how bad it was, um, at all, really. I mean, it was to the point where we had to get a separate phone line in the garage so we could call the police because she would break the phones, rip the phones off the wall, disconnect, cut the cords, like all of it, so we couldn't call the cops on her. My sister and I used to quite frequently go out the bedroom window and go over to the neighbor's house because that was our only escape. We couldn't get away from her.
No.
So that was quite often. And then when my dad would get home, we'd go home. But yeah. So I mean, it really took a toll. I hated her for a long time. I really did. I hated her. But as you grow up, I got older, I realized that had nothing to do with me. It had everything to do with her and her demons that she was fighting in her own head. Um, but it fucked me up for a long time.
Oh,
I
yeah, I
remember
don't
being in
doubt it.
seventh grade and having eating disorders because she hated her body and she transposed that onto me. So
I
it's that
remember
I think that one was.
I remember
Go
when
ahead.
you were telling me a lot of this stuff, and it broke my heart, and um, I felt so bad, and I was like, we had like completely opposite childhood. Uh, my parents were super, super strict, religious parents. Like, we weren't allowed to do anything. Like, I was too scared to go to any high school parties or any parties, when I was a kid because I know my dad would kill me, or at least I thought he would kill. I'm pretty sure he fucking would have. But I don't know. Uh, if I went, and he was also a truck driver, so he wasn't home all the time. So like he had to like double instill that fear in me, that and my brother.
Right.
I have a brother. That we wouldn't do that stuff while he was gone and have my mom have to deal with it, because when my mom would deal with it, and yeah, it'd be bad, not terrible. Um, but when my dad would get home, this would be flying. Like, it was just
Right.
so. Yeah, we neither of us ever did it. You know, we did stupid shit that they knew about. Like, we would go out with a bunch of our friends and go TP people's houses and put plastic forks and shit in their lawn, and like
Right.
random like stupid shit that was super fun for us.
Typical teenage shit.
Yeah, but and then I'd go to Myers at 3 o'clock in the morning and race the old people carts. Myers is
Oh
like a
yeah.
Walmart in Western, uh, in the Midwest. So, but yeah, we'd race the old people carts down the aisles and shit, and run like joust and stuff on them and on the bikes. like just stupid shit, like stupid high school
Yes.
shit, but never like really get yourself in trouble stuff. And when you were telling me about that stuff, I was like blown the fuck away. And yeah,
Yeah. The first time I got drunk, I was about 12, and that was with my mom. She used to have me and my friend Heather, who grew up right next door. We would take her to the party store and she would buy us liquor and we would drink and get drunk with my mom, 12, 13, I mean, literally up until they got divorced and she left. And my dad had no idea because the rule in the house was you better be in bed by the time your dad gets home. So I'd get shit faced drunk where I'm puking in the fucking kitchen sink playing Pictionary and just be in bed by the time dad got home.
no,
That was the normal around my house.
yeah. So, I want to address something really quick too, because if you're watching this on the video, and then later on you're watching this on YouTube, maybe, uh, Nicole has a very noticeable bruise on her arm. Uh, she pissed me off this weekend. I hauled off and punched. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I got rowdy the other night and I wanted to spar in the yard. So I was sparring in the yard with my nephew and it got a little out of control. It was all good though. All good. It just I'm really white and so
It
I
looks a
bruised.
lot worse than it is, and she bruises
Yeah,
very
no, it doesn't
easily.
hurt. I'm totally good. I did wake up the next morning and I was like, ah, what? And I looked down, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But it's good. It doesn't hurt. It's all
Well, remember
good.
how I was talking about how we're doing this and it's a podcast form and we're reading comments, but we're really not acknowledging it. But once I saw this comment that said, "Does she have a bruise?" And I was like, "Fuck! All right, well, let's hurry up and acknowledge this and get this shit out of the way." You know,
Right. We need to acknowledge the
but
elephant in the room. I saw it too. I was hoping nobody else did.
no, it's very noticeable. So.
Yeah. No, nope. It's good. Rule of thumb, I kind of bruise easily anyways. I normally always have some kind of random bruises all over my body. I'm also a klutz, so there's that.
Yeah, yeah, do things that she likes, a little thing and whatever, and it comes out of a bruise, and you're like, I didn't mean to, and you're like, no, it was good, and I'm like, okay.
I didn't say stop.
So, one thing that I do want to share that, you know, on your mom's side, again, you had a very terrible childhood, and uh, you are also a mom, and
I
you are 100% nothing like that. You are an outstanding mom. You are a great mom. Not only to your kids, but you also treat my kids like they're your kids, and you're a very good mom to them as well. So um, when it comes to that stuff, the apple fell very far from the tree, and this time that saying, it's a very good saying. So um, I wanted to
I
make sure
always
you knew that
say,
I thought that.
well, thank you. I always say that my mom taught me how not to be a mom.
Right.
I I was scared shitless for so many years about having children and becoming a mom because I didn't want to fail like she did. But as I grew older and I realized that had to do with her demons and what was going on in her head and realizing I'm not her. As much as she tried to force her way of thinking onto me, I'm not her. I don't I don't fight the same battles she did. Um that's really when I was like, okay, I can do this. I can be a good mom. And like having children of my own now, it it almost like took me back a minute because like I come to the terms that it was her and her shit.
Right.
But after having Haley, I was even more like just confused at how you could just up and leave your fucking kids and do some of the things that she did, you know?
Right.
Like I can't imagine just up and leaving out of my kids' lives and not knowing what they're doing, not, not being a part and them not knowing me. Like I don't know my mother. I have no idea. I can't imagine that.
Right. Yeah. Like I said, two, coming from backgrounds, different childhoods, I couldn't imagine, you know, that, um, and how much shit you had to endure and come back and, make yourself the person you are today. And I know it wasn't an easy thing to do. Um, and be pretty normal to a degree. No, and and to deal with the demons and stuff like that. So it's something. I mean, I've definitely
It followed
noticed.
me.
What?
So it followed me. My first marriage, I think, shows a lot of that. It was unhealthy. It was toxic. Um, I didn't really know what love meant and what someone giving me love looked like. It took me a long time to see his toxic ways and red flags.
Right.
Um, the best thing that I've ever done for myself in my life was leaving him. My divorce was the best thing that's ever happened to me. It's I grew a lot. I
Yeah.
learned what is acceptable for myself and what I have to give to get. My
Yeah.
marriage was not a partnership.
We both got married very young. Um,
Yeah.
my first marriage, I was 23 when I got married, and my ex-wife was 21, and she was pregnant with Zayden the month after we got married. And then, so like, we had to like fucking escalate it was craziness. We were together a very long time. Both of us didn't really know what it was, and really early on knew that it wasn't right. Like, the marriage
Yeah.
wasn't right. We both knew we weren't happy, but we tried to make it work for the kids. And, uh, finally she hit a breaking point because I'm stubborn as fuck and I was never going to leave. I wanted to, but it was never going to. Um, she hit a breaking point and woke up one day and said she was leaving and then left. And I'm not going to lie, I didn't chase after her. Didn't, I actually felt relief. And it almost scared me. Like, I thought I wasn't normal. But, like, talking to other people and whatnot. And then especially like when we were talking about that stuff, like you were like, yeah, you felt such a relief the day you left Jared, like, um,
Yeah.
that,
I had never planned on staying gone. Um, we had quite the ordeal, event, life-changing moment on a Saturday night. Um, he had went out and stayed with somebody else. Um, we had a family day on Sunday. It was not the same. I left that Wednesday. I had just told him I needed to go stay at my dad's house for a few days. That first night, I knew I was not going back.
no,
It it, it was such a relief. It is. I mean, and it was hard as fuck. I cried a lot, knowing my marriage was falling apart. I had this career that I was working towards. I wasn't seeing my kids. I I say it's the best thing, but I also destroyed a part of me. But I think for me to move on, it had to. It
Yeah.
had to destroy me to completely let him go and be able to realize my own worth. I mean, it was hard as fuck, but the payoff was the best. It's what I needed to save myself.
Right. And then you got me. I mean, I'm just kidding. So,
Um, I was in another serious relationship before you. It was in the moment, I think it's what I needed. It was good. Um, he took advantage. He took advantage of what I have to offer and what I bring to the table. And I communicated with him a lot over and over, several times. He always just kind of did his own thing. I'm not saying money is everything, but he made really, really big financial decisions. One, without me, two, behind my back, and three, would lie to me about it. Um, so I packed up and moved my kids, myself, my stuff, everything out of the house that I was renting and left in a weekend. I left.
mhm,
And again, like I said, our relationship was good. I think it's what I needed in the moment. When it was not good, for me to see that I deserve better and left, again, it only made me stronger to know that, bitch, you restarted once. You can do it again.
yeah, yeah. And that's kind of the same thing as I've had one serious relationship as well. I did get engaged again, and it turned into a massive shit show. It was definitely what I needed. Like you said, it was definitely what I needed to let myself know that, you know, there was, a light at the end of the tunnel, that there was, I was going to be able to love someone again and be able to, or care about someone again. And so it was nice and it was good while it lasted. But things happened and it had to end. And um, yeah, and then I didn't seriously date anybody at all. I mean, I dated a couple, girl for almost a year before we started dating. And then it was like fucking magic. Like, yeah, from day one, I knew, like, and
Yeah,
don't regret it at all.
no, nope, day one. Like,
So,
oh, fuck.
it's getting ready for dad bod summer, and no,
Nope.
but
No. Yeah, like I said, the last relationship really enforced that I knew that I could rebuild and I know what I deserve. It took me a long time, and I think that just spreads from my mom. I thought that was love, like that toxicity.
right,
And so I stayed in my marriage way longer than I should have. And leaving was the best thing for me. I learned how to love myself, and I think that's really what I was missing. I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy with myself. There was no way in hell I could have been happy in my marriage.
right. No, I totally get it.
So,
I felt the same. But like I said, I was too stubborn to do anything about it. So, um, yeah, but now, uh, co-parenting, is super fun with, the ex. spouse. It's not bad. It I'm sure it could always be better, but I'm happy where it is right now. We can talk a lot, and we're friendly and friend-ish, but within the same boundaries of parent. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
and then I know
Right.
you and
Yeah.
your ex are kind of ish, not like that much, but to a degree,
No.
you can get along and be cordial in front of the kids. It's just afterwards that it normally isn't. Or
Yeah.
sometimes, I shouldn't say normally, sometimes. But
Yeah.
I think it's gotten a lot
It's really
better.
up and down. Do what?
I said I think it's gotten a lot better with with the situation.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree. I mean, it's still it kind of goes up and down. Um, and it comes down to he always wants to have the control, and when I stand up for, myself or what I would like to see change or, whatever, then he's got issues and he doesn't want to release that control. And that was always the issue in our marriage too.
Right.
He couldn't release that control. And I think that's, I mean, he worked, he had a job, he had a pretty good job. Um, I had a pretty successful career. I definitely was making good money. I was the one supporting the family, paying the bills. I bought myself a vehicle. I bought him a vehicle. I think it really bothered him. I don't think he knew how to deal with that, not not being the one to pay the bills. And I didn't flaunt it. I didn't throw it in his face. Do I know where his money went? No. Did I ask him about his money? No. Did I need his money? No. But I sure as fuck didn't throw it in his face that I was the one paying all the bills or what have you. But I think just internally he struggled with that and he started to resent me for it.
Right. Yeah.
So,
I don't really I don't really know what I would do in that same situation though. Kind of. I mean, my ex for a little bit did make more money than me while I was on a doing contract work, and it was at a point where like it was getting really hard to get contracts in the area. So I just would take whatever the first ones would come in, and I took a couple that were really shitty, but there were like 3, 4, 5, 6 months where she did make more money than me, but it was more like a partnership on that aspect. Um, Not until the divorce did money really mean anything to my ex. So, um, and then I found out. So,
um, I money always meant a lot to my ex-husband. Like I said, I bought him a truck. I bought the houses. I paid all the bills. So then when we divorced and I wasn't anymore, he fought tooth and fucking nail for every dime of mine. And apparently he had a pretty damn good lawyer because he wiped my ass clean.
yeah, yeah, uh,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
So,
Well, that's good. I mean, we're moving past that, and now we have each other, and we lift each other up. We do everything we can for each other. This would be, I would say, probably one of the most healthy relationships I've ever been in. Um, Normally, I'm really good at finding and ignoring a shitload of red flags, but we we have some. but the biggest ones are just you itself. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But
What? Oh God, that was funny. Yeah.
but I think this is kind of a good ending
Now
point
you
for this one. You are always on reserve for the emergency guest. So this is not the end of the story. It's just the end of this chapter. And we'll move on. And next time we'll start over around this same point and get to more things. But I just want to thank everybody who tuned in right now and everybody who's going to watch this later on YouTube or listen to it on Spotify, Google Podcasts, anywhere where you get your podcast, except for Apple, because fuck Apple. Um, but other than that, I hope everybody has a good night, and we'll talk to you guys later.
bye.